Let's talk about the difference in traditional foundation and Seint Cream 3D foundation that I wear. First of all, I'm not here to bash any traditional foundation, powders, or anything like that. If you're wearing that and it works for you, girl, keep going, do your thing, rock and roll. But if your current makeup routine is not working for you, then let's talk. So I used to be a traditional foundation, or as my generation calls it, base. Gotta get my base on. Gotta put my base on. We always went in, we applied our base. Then, after we did that, we were solid beige, solid one color. We would go in and then, brighten, try to put some bronzer on. I was using a hodgepodge of different things. With that, like I said, if that's your jam and it works for you, then you keep going. If you're like me, and as you aged, that flat, only way I know how to call it is like bland. Like my makeup looked like I had coverage, but it was just bland. If that's you, then let's talk about dimensional makeup. If, 4 years ago, if you would have told me that I would be putting my makeup on like this, I'd be like, I'm not putting that dark mess on my face. Like, you have got to be kidding me. I was always on the hunt for a foundation. I used to be a Bare Minerals girl, not the powder, but they had this like serum foundation that was mineral, like all the things, and it worked really good. And then out of nowhere, they took it off the market. Like, it had this special little brush that had a little cup, and you did like 2 drops. And it was so sheer, it was so great. This was in my early 30s. It was a couple years ago. But anyway, I loved it, and it was gone. It lasted, I think I used it for maybe like, I don't know, a year or 2. And then I couldn't find it anymore. And then I realized that they had taken it off the market. The brush wasn't available, all the things. I'm not sure what happened. So I was on the hunt for a foundation. I was a Makeup Forever HD, I think it was called. I wore It Cosmetics. Like, I kind of just tried all the things. I wanted coverage. Like, I was at 100% coverage, because God forbid I was not going to let any of my skin show, because I just was like, oh no. But I had days where I wanted to just kind of have like a light makeup day. Couldn't do that. Girl, couldn't do that with base. Put that base on and I was just bland. So I had to go ahead and finish and like do a full on makeup look, because it was either like you were all in or nothing. And I couldn't find that, happy medium. I tried a tinted moisturizer. I just wasn't crazy about it. I basically just wore full makeup every single day, which was not a bad thing. I love makeup, obviously, or I wouldn't be here talking about makeup. When we use traditional foundation, we go in and we cover everything. Sometimes it's not the best color because our face is not one color. So we have to find something that covers everything. And then we go in and we start adding dimension on top of what we already have. Like I said, if that's your jam, that's okay. If it works for you, then keep going. If you want to try something different, and if you've never worn dimensional makeup, if you ever get this put on your skin, you will never go back to a one color foundation. And here's why. Like I said earlier, we have to find one foundation that covers everything. With this, you put the colors where they go. So if you need to have something corrected, you can have a darker color. In the makeup world, I kind of feel like we've been lied to for a while. We've always been taught to put something like really light or bright, but in reality, dark covers dark. So you've got to have something with some depth to it, and a lot of times warmth to cover troubled areas. Then you can go in and brighten it up just a little bit. You can see as I'm applying this, I had no base or foundation here. That was straight contour and bronzer. But I blended in to my highlight colors and I've got coverage. So with this, I can do a light makeup day. And I'm gonna show you when I get done with this, if I wanted to walk out the door, I have mascara on. Of course, I have my brows done because I have no brows. I could go. Or I could go in and finish my makeup. So when I did wear my base, I like to call it base because that's what we called it. If you know, you know. But if I did that and I went in and just put my foundation on, you know, then I had to top it with a powder, then I had to do this and do that, and I didn't finish the rest of my makeup, it literally looked like I had just put on foundation and forgot to do the rest of my makeup. Pretty much the case with this. So you're watching this come together, and if I wanted to just give my skin dimension, okay, that was just highlight, contour, and bronzer. If I wanted to stop here, I mean, look at that. My skin looks alive, it looks glowy, it's not dull, I have dimension. I could go just like this, but we're not going to. Because this makeup is all about color, okay? So I have coverage, it's buildable. If I wanna go in and add more, I can. That's the joy of this, is that it's buildable coverage. So you always start out with a little bit. I'm a bronzer girl, and a lot of times I get my coverage and color from my bronzer. So I'm gonna add a little bit more bronzer, and then we're gonna add some blush, and then I'll show you a finished look with some eyeshadow. So you can kind of see the different stages of this makeup that you can wear. You know, you can, even if you're full coverage, okay, first of all, don't do like me. In the beginning, I didn't love it because I wore way too much. I was still trying to think in that traditional foundation world, traditional foundation. The reason I have swapped back to the dot method, especially in the summer, is it keeps me from wearing so much. And you can see that I've got the coverage that I need because it's all about color. It's all about the color. Having the right colors in the right places is what really sets this makeup apart from anything else, is because it's dimensional. So if I have matched you and you might think your colors are a little too dark, it's because you're only gonna wear the tiniest amount of this product. If you use the dot method to apply your makeup and blend it, your makeup is going to last you forever. So our blushes and everything is cream. And one thing I love about that is because when you take a powdered bronzer, blush, or anything, where that brush touches is where the majority of that makeup sits. You have to work to blend it out. There is zero forgiveness with powders. With creams, I'm just gonna show you. All right, I'm gonna put some blush like up here, way too high, okay? Let's just have a little moment here. I'm gonna blend it out, okay? I'm gonna pull it down and get it where it needs to be, away from that under eye, okay? Now, I have brought that down. It's not the end of the world. So with creams, it's so forgiving. That's why I always say it's foolproof. You don't need makeup skills to wear this makeup. Like, it is what it is. So with powders, there's zero forgiveness. Where you put it, it's there. It's harder to blend it out, okay? If I need to brighten that up, made a little boo-boo, made a mistake, little foundation right there, it's fixed. No big deal. All right, so that's adding blush. I could still go just like this. To do an eye, full eyeshadow, and hop back on and show you that this can just be also full makeup. Okay, so you can see this is like a full-on makeup. I added a full eyeshadow and a lip. So the choice is yours. The choice is yours. Remember to set your cream makeup. I use a very, very, very light layer of a translucent powder and a beauty sponge, our Perfector sponge. You can use a setting spray. I just like a little bit of powder because I live in a very humid climate. If you're looking for something different, think outside the box a little bit, change the way you look at your makeup. This right here, this is for you. If you would like to get color matched, shoot me a message or visit the link in my profile, either my Linktree link or website link. Both will take you to a color match form. I will get you matched and started with a new makeup routine that you're going to love.